What in the hell's blazes is that? Hey! Hey you! You young whippersnapper you! What do you think you're doing over there? Disturbing my fishing? Shoo! Shoo! Yeah, that's right. Go back where you came from. Kids these days, no respect. You see, back in my day...
Hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today I want to talk a little bit about fishing in the plains of Eidolon, because number one, there's actually a little bit more to it than I originally thought. I thought it was just going to be random fish in random ponds and you go around and throw spears at them, which is not the case. And number two, I always enjoy fishing in games way more than I think I would, so I've already spent like 4 hours just fishing, and I want to talk about it. It's actually kind of fun. So the last you need to talk to start your fishing endeavors is Fisher hai-luk, who will sell you your first fishing spear for 500 standing, so you do actually have to do some bounties or incursions before you can start. But as you can see over here, the fishing spear isn't the only thing you can buy here. It's not even the only fishing spear you can buy here. This is just a basic fishing spear, and it will not allow you to catch certain fish that are very scaly or have hard carapace. If you want to catch those fish, you will have to upgrade your spear or buy a better spear later on. Now, the fishing itself is pretty straightforward. You just buy the spear, which has unlimited uses, so you don't have to worry about it breaking or losing it. You equip it into your gear slot and go to Eidolon. Once you find a nice body of water, like a river or a lake or a pond, you simply go to your gear slot, equip the spear, and you can start spearfishing. Yay, look at that. I got a moorfish. It's a medium moorfish. Nice 16.6 kilograms, though. That's not bad. And as you saw right there, it is indeed very simple. You press the aim down sights button, whatever it may be, which will cock your hand backwards, get you ready to throw the spear, and once you see a fish, simply aim at the fish, press the fire button, and you will throw the spear. If you hit the fish, you will reel it back, and ta-da, you have a fish. And that's the basic idea behind this minigame, and if all you want to do is just this, and you don't want to worry with the other stuff, you don't have to, okay? You can just catch fish like this. Now, once you catch yourself a fish, you can go back to the fishmonger and you can do one of three things with it. If you go into fishing services and select fish, you can select whatever fish you caught and have them either filleted, which will give you some fish meat, but also materials that are specific to the fish you decided to fillet, or you can just provide it and just give it to the people of Cetus, which will give you a little bit of standing, which by the way is capped at 5,000 per day. And the cap, by the way, is fairly easy to hit. These are all the fish that I got in one fishing session during the day, and it got me almost 1,000 standing. Or at least it would have provided me with almost 1,000 standing, but I instead decided to cut bait or fillet the fish to get the materials and also fish meat to prepare more bait. Or if you have better standing with the Cetus, you can also use some fish to create trophies like this one, though you are going to need some additional resources for this. So for this one, for example, you're going to need a little bit of credits to actually pay the fishmonger to create the trophy. You're going to need a large yogwun, which is the fish you want to create a trophy out of. The iridite, which I have no idea what it does. Grokdrul, no idea what that does either, but you're also going to need cryotic to freeze the fish so it doesn't stink up your lyset. Now let's talk a little bit about bait. You can buy blueprints for different types of bait. I will talk about this later from the fishmonger, and the basic one will just cost a little bit of credit, some nisselpod, and a little bit of fish meat to craft. You craft the bait in your foundry. It will probably be on the initial foundry screen, but if it's not there, you will find it under the gear section. The bait only takes 1 minute to craft, and the blueprint is not reusable, so you're spending 500 standing with the Cetus to get 10 pieces of bait, which are obviously not reusable either. You can use it 10 times and then you have to buy another blueprint. Also, even though it is crafted under the gear section, you cannot equip it into your gear slot. It just becomes available by pressing the middle mouse button or whatever button you're using to normally switch mode between weapons once you equip the fishing spear. And here is what fishing with bait looks like. You simply press the middle mouse button, as I've said already, or the button you're using to switch between modes, and it will throw the bait. And there we go. Now, this basic type of bait, because I've said already there are different types, only attracts fish that are normally active during the day. So if you're just fishing during the day, using this bait is kind of a waste, though it does seem to just spawn fish out of thin air, as you can see over here, as soon as you throw the bait. So you will get a little bit of extra fish, but you also have to remember that the blueprint costs 500 standing and it's not reusable, so you're paying standing for this, okay? Now let's talk about the final thing you'll be able to buy before you progress further into the Cetus reputation system, which is the Luminous Dye blueprint. This is also crafted via the Foundry, and if it's not on the initial screen, you will find it under the gear section. And this blueprint is also not reusable, so you're paying 500 standing to get 10 pieces of Luminous Dye. And unlike the bait, this one actually takes 1 hour to craft. Now, using the dye is a little bit different to the bait, and it actually took me a while to figure it out, but here's how it works. You once again want to go to Eidolon and find a nice body of water. Once you're there, go into your gear wheel and equip the fishing spear. You then want to go back into your gear wheel, which is now changed into the fishing gear wheel, where you will find the luminous dye. And all you need to do is just click on the luminous dye and you will gain its effect for 2 minutes. And here is what it does. Look at that. It illuminates fish so they look like you're looking at them through a codec scanner, which makes them much easier to see. Especially if you're fishing in an area like this where you have a lot of leaves, I suppose, is what this is, in the water. And that's basically all you're going to be able to do until you progress further in the Cetus reputation, so you're going to be able to buy better stuff. And I almost forgot to mention that there are certain fish that you can only catch during the night, though the fish are pretty hard to see, so this is where you might want to use your luminous dye to make it easier. You can do it without using luminous dye, I mean, I just did, but the luminous dye does make it much easier to see the fish during the night. And the final thing I want to talk about today is sort of the progression you will go through as you catch more and more fish and as you progress through the Cetus reputation more and more. So I've already covered the basic stuff you can buy. That's the Lanzo fishing spear, the peppered bait, and the luminous dye. But once you progress further into the Cetus reputation, you'll be able to buy the Tulok fishing spear, which will allow you to catch a wider variety of fish. But you will also be able to buy the Twilight bait, which is kind of like the peppered bait, but instead of baiting in fish that are active during the day, it will bait in fish that are active during the night, and you will unlock a couple of trophies as well. Once you attain the rank of Visitor, you will get your first fish-specific bait. In this case, it's the Mercray bait, which will only bait in Mercray. Once you get to the rank of Trusted, you will be able to buy the final Peram fishing spear, which I assume just allows you to catch all the different kinds of fish. And here's where the progression becomes a little bit more obvious, because the next type of bait you can buy is the Norg bait, and parts from the Norg are required for the next bait, and then parts from that fish are required for the next bait, and you basically go all the way to the final bait. You'll also be able to buy the Pharoma, which is kind of like the dye, but instead of highlighting the fish, it will calm them down so they don't move around as much and they are easier to hit. And of course, once again, you get more trophies as well. And then it's just that, more trophies, more bait, more trophies, more bait, until you make it all the way to the top. And that's basically all I was able to figure out thus far, so I hope it helped you at least a little bit. Now, overall, I am very happy with the addition of fishing. It's just something that I didn't know I wanted in Warframe until I got it. It's a nice change of pace. I can just slap on a podcast or watch a TV series and, just chill and catch fish. It's really nice and relaxing. I like it. I'm happy and actually kind of surprised that they put this much time and effort into it because, they were building this massive world space and they made it its own thing with its own pseudo progression and the different trophies you can use to decorate your landing craft, or you can even use it to gain standing with the Cetus. It's just really cool. So yeah, this feature gets a big thumbs up from me. It's really awesome and you should definitely try it out, at least for a little bit. And that's pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching as always, guys. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.